Good morning. I'm Jasmine Anderson. We begin with what first responders call a ticking time bomb on our South Shore. Eroded beaches putting people at risk on Fire Island. Steve Langford has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
Nearly 2 months since storms caused severe beach erosion on Fire Island, the tides continue to frequently leave the sands of the South Shore Island paradise off limits, not just to beachgoers, but also to the island's vital and unique emergency response resources.
The beach here is our roadway. It's what allows emergency responders to get from one community to the other in an expedient manner.
Tom Ruskin, head of the Homeowners Association in Seaview, says when it's high tide here, neither fire department nor police vehicles can use the beach, which is often the fastest way to get to an emergency just about anywhere along Fire Island.
What could happen to a house, a neighborhood, or even a community in that delayed response?
This is low tide right now, but by 6 or 7 o'clock tonight, the water will be up to here.
You can't get up it or down it, as you can clearly see.
Gone, a ramp that normally allows emergency vehicles to access the beach, while a handicap ramp is no longer usable either.
So what the tide has done is taken out these very well-constructed things that the Army Corps did 5 years ago and taken it out to sea.
The Army Corps of Engineers is expected to begin previously scheduled emergency repair work along Fire Island's West End beaches late this year. But these East End beaches are currently not part of that project. The Army Corps telling Newsday in part that federal law specifies emergency beach repairs must be carried out only as a result of an extraordinary storm in length or severity, defined as a Category 3 hurricane or a storm exceeding the frequency equal to or greater than the project was designed for. The Seaview Homeowners Association says it's encouraged by efforts from U.S. Senators Schumer and Gillibrand, but calls the beach erosion a, quote, potential ticking time bomb. Steve Langford for Newsday TV.
Read more about the erosion on Fire Island on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. A homeless man is accused of stabbing his grandmother in Amityville. Prosecutors say then Dwight Claremont chased his mother with a knife after she walked in on the attack. It happened Saturday morning. Claremont, who is already awaiting sentencing on a felony burglary conviction in Nassau, is being held without bail. Today, Donald Trump's legal team will present its case to the court. The former president's team will start calling witnesses of their own today. Donald Trump Jr. will be up first on the stand. The civil fraud trial in Manhattan threatens Trump's real estate empire. Heads up, rail riders, new LIRR schedules took effect this morning. The railroad is adjusting schedules to address demands from riders, including adding more trains serving Brooklyn and Penn Station. It is also eliminating some trains serving Grand Central Madison. There are changes on several branches, including on the Babylon, Port Washington, and Ronkonkoma lines. Thanksgiving is next week, just 10 days away, and you'll have plenty of company if you're traveling. AAA predicting more than 55 million Americans will hit the road this year. That's up more than 2% from last year and the most since 2000. Most people will drive to their destinations and will pay less for gas this year. Sports now. A late mistake cost the Jets the game in Las Vegas.
Zach Wilson throws in traffic. It's picked off by Robert Spillane. Spillane taking off. He's down at the 40-yard line.
Zach Wilson was picked off by linebacker Robert Spillane at the Raiders' 15 with 1:17 seconds remaining. The Jets ended up losing 16-12 and have now dropped 2 straight games. The Cowboys dominated Tommy DeVito and the Giants in Dallas. DeVito was sacked 5 times as Dallas beat the G-Men 49-17. Checking out your hyperlocal forecast, sun and clouds today. Highs around 46 degrees. Tonight, lows in the 30s, so make sure you grab a coat, wear one of your favorite sweaters or something just to stay warm. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with highs around 51 degrees. Look at your 7-day forecast coming up.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Home Tax Saver, PTRC Incorporated.
One South Shore community has a new approach to combat rising seas. Sherry Einhorn explains the managed retreat in a story you'll see only in Newsday.
You can see why people want to live here. It's absolutely beautiful.
Mastic Beach has some breathtaking views of Long Island's South Shore. But homeowners here have also suffered from devastating floods. The hamlet was hit hard by Superstorm Sandy, and experts say with rising sea levels, flooding is likely to be more frequent and more severe, threatening the environment and the neighborhood.
So the only way to protect the habitat, protect native species, and to reduce flooding to local residents is to restore the salt marsh habitat back to what it used to look like 100 years ago.
That project covers 147 acres, has a price tag of $15 million, and is expected to take about 5 years. In the meantime, the town of Brookhaven is taking more immediate action to combat overdevelopment and hopefully, along with it, some of the flooding. This is Dahlia Drive.
We've taken down hundreds of homes, whether it be New York Rising, working with post-Sandy homes, the buyouts, decrepit homes left by banks, the whole gamut of reasons why we've made a very good effort here in this area, and it's paid off.
Town officials say the goal of the program is to basically turn back time and let Mother Nature reclaim lots like this one that used to be developed with houses. That would provide a natural barrier during heavy storms, high tides, and flooding, all of which sounds great to Mark Greek, who just moved here to Mastic Beach 3 years ago.
So I'm not too educated on the science of it all, but if somebody that gets paid a lot more than I do thinks this is a good idea, I guess that might be worth it.
In Mastic Beach, I'm Sherry Einhorn for NewsdayTV.
Read more about the managed retreat plan on Newsday.com. Just click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Hungry LIRR riders are still waiting for food options to return at Penn Station and Grand Central Madison. Alfonso Castillo has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
If you're a Long Island commuter looking to get a bite or a drink at either of the Long Island Railroad's 2 Manhattan terminals, your options are pretty limited.
4 years after all the shops and restaurants in the LIRR's Penn Station concourse closed for renovations, commuters continue to go hungry. Although signs started going up more than a year ago announcing the imminent return of several eateries, only one has opened so far.
When you're hungry and you're waiting for your train, or if you're delayed, it was very convenient. If something was open, you could grab something, but there isn't now, so.
I'm gonna get a soda also.
And things aren't much better at the LIRR's new Manhattan terminal, Grand Central Madison. 9 months after it opened, the only dining options are a half dozen coffee and snack kiosks spread throughout the station.
It would be nice to have some more options available. There really isn't too much. Just I see like a coffee, some candy bars. It would be nice if they brought some things in, even if there were some kosher options too. That would be really lovely.
MTA officials said they plan on opening a cafe and bar near the Grand Central Madison waiting room sometime next year. It could take longer than that for the first restaurants to move into the new station. Back at Penn Station, starving commuters got a little bit of relief when Playa Bowls opened in July.
It's been pretty busy. Commuters are happy that we're here, grabbing a bite to eat real quick.
Cecil Sarpy ducked into the new business to grab a smoothie on his way to work, but said he often looks for something more substantial before catching a train.
If you're partying in the city on a Friday night, you're back at the train station, what do you look for? What's your go-to?
Probably, depending on if I don't want to be hungover, some pizza.
If you go just upstairs from Grand Central Madison, obviously there are plenty of dining choices in the food hall, and they just opened a few new restaurants, and a couple more are on the way, starting construction this fall. I, for one, can't wait that long. For NewsdayTV, I'm Alfonso Castillo.
Read more about this story on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
In this day and age of social media and of misinformation everywhere you look, it's so critical for my work to come from a respected, trusted source where readers know they can trust it day in and day out.
Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.
I'm Jasmine Anderson. Thank you so much for watching us on this Monday. We'll leave you with a look at your 7-day forecast.